Welcome to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Lorianne Casdia. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower you to fulfill a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life so you can feel empowered to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy that you're with us today. We're excited. Well, I guess every week I am. But we're excited today because my very dear friends from a networking group that I'm part of called LeTip are here today to really talk about what they do, talk a little bit about LeTip, so you get a little flavor about all the different people and the different services that are provided and how our networking group works. So I'm really excited to have everybody on. And actually, our first guest today is Erin Tortora. She is someone who has been on the show before. You probably know her. She has Port Jefferson Sundaes, or Sundaes at Port Jefferson. And then she has this other business that I think really complements her Sundaes. Erin, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. So you have the Sundaes, yep, which is fabulous. I love your acai bowls. They're fantastic. Probably the best in the area. But also you have your complementary business called Fit Team, right?
Yep.
Which I think is hysterical. You kind of like fatten us up and then you help us lose weight.
Yeah.
So talk about Fit Team briefly. What's Fit Team? How did you get involved?
Well, after owning the ice cream shop for about 8 years at that point, 7 or 8 years, I was 60 pounds overweight. And mostly from overeating the ice cream, of course, and then the stress of running a business. So those two together, I was 60 pounds overweight and I was looking around and I found a friend of mine was doing this. So I decided to give it a try. She had lost about 45 pounds and I thought, all right, she can do this. She was a single mom of 4 boys. I thought let me give it a try. So it's so easy. It's just a pink powder you add to water and drink twice a day. And I lost 57 pounds in 10 months.
God bless. That's unbelievable. And it actually tastes good.
It actually tastes good.
Yeah. It's not one of those, ew, I don't want to drink this or drink it really, really fast. So how easy is it? Is it as easy as just pouring in the glass?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We do have a suggested diet.
Okay.
Some people follow it. Some people don't.
Okay.
I will tell you most don't, but we do provide it.
Okay.
I did follow it in the beginning because I had a lot of weight to lose and I figured why not? I was used to being on diets. I was always trying this and that. So I did. So in the beginning, I followed it pretty diligently. And then as time went on and I lost the weight, now I loosely follow it. So I always give everybody the option as to whether they want to follow our diet or not. But the product will still work whether you don't diet or not. Some people what it does is it increases your metabolism. It decreases your appetite. It increases your energy too. So it's not all about weight loss. It's also about health and wellness and energy and just feeling better. So it will decrease your appetite tremendously. So some people just like to take the product and they don't want to follow a strict diet, which I get.
What's your favorite success story?
I have a friend, Pamela, who lost 155 pounds since last July.
Goodness, that's amazing.
Yeah.
She did this on this product.
On this product, and she did not follow the suggested diet.
Wow.
We worked with her a little bit to decrease the amount of food she was eating, cut carbs a little bit, but she said she would not feel she would be successful if she had a strict diet.
You know what I really like about this diet is that it's not restrictive.
Yep.
It's so you can go out, you can have dinner. You just have to make better choices. And I think that's what it teaches you over a long period of time. It teaches you to make better choices and helps you lose weight at the same time while you're still having fun, right?
Yep, that's exactly
And
what
did you have to give up your wine?
I did not give up my wine.
Okay, I can get my hands around that. I could do that.
Yep. I still drink wine most nights. I still eat out in restaurants all the time.
Right.
And every Saturday night I have a cheat meal and eat whatever the heck I want when I go to a restaurant. So
there you go.
I love it. I love it.
And how long have you been doing this?
A little over 2 years now. So It took me 10 months to lose the weight, and I've kept it off for over a year now, about a year and a half. And so it's been great.
And now you have different levels within your company, and recently you hit a very nice benchmark.
Yes,
which is what, a national leader?
Yes,
did I hear?
National team leader. Yeah.
Congratulations on that, and you're already headed towards the next level, which is, I believe, bronze.
Yep. Yeah.
Outstanding, and that's quite an achievement. So you like to help people, men and women, here or anywhere in the United States. You can help them?
Anywhere in the United States, Canada, and Mexico.
And how do they, and Mexico, there you go. How do they get in touch with you?
So they can call me on my cell phone. That would be 631-974-3785. Call or text me.
Not after 11 p.m. No, I'm kidding. And your website?
And the website is Fast Track 2, weight loss.
Awesome.
So it's fasttracktoweightloss.com.
And they can make appointment on there just to talk to you, to chat about it, learn a little bit more about it. Probably their best avenue is go on the website, click an appointment, and go from there.
Absolutely.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate that. Our next guest is Nick Pomilla. He's from Pomilla Environmental. It's really, really technical, so I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to let him explain what Pomilla Environmental does. I know you do some soil testing. Welcome to the show, Nick. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm great. So you do soil testing. You do asbestos testing. What else do you do?
We do mold and lead and water. So really anything that you would need any kind of environmental testing for, we do it, and then we help you figure out what the best process would be to, solve your environmental problem.
Okay. So if I was a homeowner, I am, and I had something happen to my house, what should I look for? When should I call you in?
Well, really, if you have any kind of concern, earlier the better. So if you have a flood, a fire, any sort of damage, or even if you're just looking to do some restoration or repair something yourself, you should give us a call because you might be dealing with something that you're not necessarily prepared for.
Okay. So recently I had a leak, and it leaked into my ceiling.
Yep.
And it made a stain on my ceiling, not making me happy. Is that something I should call you for, just to check it out, make sure there's nothing pluming? Pluming is when the algae and the
when the mold starts
growing.
Yeah. So really, all you need for mold growth is a food source and moisture. And once you have those two things in the same environment, you're very likely to have mold start growing.
What would be a food source for water? To create the damage, to create mold.
A food source for mold could be any kind of paper products, could be just dirt that's living on the surface of something. So it might not be penetrating and eating your sheetrock or your gypsum board, but it could still be growing on the surface level and causing other issues. So everybody responds to mold differently. You could have a severe reaction to it. You could have a minor reaction to it. But if you're going to have people coming in and out of your house, even if it's just surface mold, it could cause an issue.
And who do you typically work with business-wise?
Business-wise, I work with a lot of restoration contractors, roofing contractors. That's more on the asbestos end of things. Really,
demolition companies, home
improvement.
Okay.
And really anybody that's looking to buy or sell houses too.
Do you buy and sell houses, real estate? Okay. Yeah. Do you do you do tests for pools, people's pools? I was asked that question.
Well, we could do a test for your pool. There's nothing preventing us from doing that. It's just that those are generally things that you can get at your pool supply place. And
it would be markedly less expensive to do that than to have you come in and test.
Correct.
So what made you get into this business?
Well, I've always been interested in the sciences. I was actually working at Stony Brook, and when the pandemic hit and I was laid off, I was one of those very many people. And I had a friend that his father was starting a company. He'd been in the industry for 40 years, and I figured it was a good opportunity for me to jump in.
Understood. And you deal with architects and engineers as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So that sounds really good. So what's your why? Why do you do what you do?
Well, I think I help people. People have problems that they don't necessarily know that they have, whether it's mold, asbestos, lead, or any of the three. They don't know how to handle them or get rid of it properly. And I don't like to have people pay for things that they don't necessarily need either. And sometimes those contractors will get you a little bit. So,
so you go in and you kind of act as an advocate. For the
absolutely.
homeowners?
Yeah, I'm like an intermediary between the contractor and you. So, I work for you, not the contractor. I give the contractor guidelines on how to do the abatement or the remediation, and I try to make sure that it gets done timely and, it's cost effective.
Sounds great. So if someone wants to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with Pomilla Environmental?
Best thing to do would be to call me on my cell phone. You can give me a text too. It's 631-873-8653. Or my email is npenv01@outlook.com.
Okay, that sounds really good. I really appreciate you being on. I hope you can come back another time so we can talk more about everything that you do. This was just a quick little snapshot.
Yeah, definitely. We can get into a lot more detail.
Dive into asbestos. Woo, that's really hot.
Sounds real fun, right?
Thanks so much for being on, Nick.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. And we are also going to be joined by Lauren Hart Valinoti. She is doing something that's really interesting, and I love the health care that she does and represents. So, Lauren, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. So talk about the company that you represent and some of the products.
Yeah, absolutely. So I work with a company called Monat. It stands for Modern Nature. So what's amazing about it is that it combines naturally based products with science. So everything is non-toxic, chemical-free, and the products do what they say they're going to do. So they're customized to your hair type, your skin type, and we also have some wellness, but my heart stays with the hair care, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
Understood. And your hair is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So you offer all these different products, but how did you get into it?
Yeah, of course. So how I got into it was somewhat unexpected. I was asked to join this company for almost a year, and I was a hard no for a long time because it just wasn't a business model that I really understood.
Right.
But what changed my mind about it was that 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. And so after that, my hair started to fall out. It became really brittle and dry, and I hated it. I hated how it felt. I had to wear it up every day, and I just didn't feel like myself. And so I realized from having thyroid cancer how important it was to be aware of the products that you put into and on your body.
Yes.
And so when my friend approached me again, I was like, you know what? I don't even know if I want to do the business, but I want to try the products. They are naturally based. And so I was like, let me just try them. I'll get a great discount. And if the business works, that's a plus. But I just really want to have better hair. I washed my hair once and my hair was so shiny. It was more full. And now after years of using it, it's been able to grow back because I have a healthier scalp, and that's where your hair care really starts. And so the test to see if it really worked was I didn't tell my mom. So I was living with her at the time. And you know how when you're with someone and they see you every day, they don't always notice.
Right.
And after my second wash, she's like, what's going on with your hair? And I was like, oh, I got new hair care. And she's like, I want it. And like, that was it. I was like, that's it. She noticed. And from there, I was like, if I feel this good about my hair and it can make that much of a difference, then it would be crazy for me not to share it with other people, because we all complain about things and we can all want to feel better. So
yeah. And instead of complaining about it, you found a solution to it. And
exactly.
I love that about you. So you have this product that one of the guests who will be on later, she gave it a name. So what's the actual product name, and then what did she call it?
Sure. So it's called our 30-second miracle cream. And our friend calls it Spanx for Spanx. She calls it like Spanx for bags, meaning under eye bags.
Right.
So, because what it does, it's just amazing. It basically tightens everything up for almost 12 hours a day. And you don't have to have any invasive procedure like Botox.
Right.
You just put a tiny bit on and literally you see the miracle work before your eyes. The lines almost all completely disappear.
I love it. I think they should change the name. I think Pansy came up with a really good name. Pansy's our architect. She's going to be on in a little bit. But let's switch off of your business for 1 second. You're part of the networking group of LeTip, and I wanted to say congratulations that you actually were a charter member. So here is here's a certificate of being a charter member. So thank you so much for making this chapter, because the first 16 members are the charter members, and we had that made for you.
Thank you.
And congratulations. Yeah.
I love being a part of this group. Honestly, it's been a really great year. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing. It's a great group, right? What's your favorite part about doing it?
My favorite part is that I get to meet people that I probably would have never gotten to meet, and everyone's a professional. So when they come to you, or if you need a service, everyone's going to answer you timely. They're going to treat your friends and family like they're their own VIPs. We treat each other like family, and I think that's really important. And, when you want to buy from someone, whatever their service is, you want to know, like, and trust them. And this group really allows you to do that. So I know when I refer anyone to someone in LeTip that they're getting top-notch service.
Yeah.
And it really stands out from other networking groups. And the fact that it's exclusive is also a huge plus.
Oh my gosh, the exclusivity of it, of the seat. So what that means for our listeners is that whatever business professional is, you can only have one person in that profession in that chapter. Yes. So there are multiple chapters. We can always build a chapter around you, but all of the people here is exclusive. You have the exclusivity of your particular business category. So it really does make it easier to refer business. And we refer business back and forth. It's actually part of the deal of coming on once you get voted in. You can't just become a member. You have to be brought in by a member, recommended by that member, and then voted in by membership. And I know this particular Suffolk Virtual LeTip chapter, they've refused 17 potential members, because the membership was looking for a specific type of people that fit well together.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's important because it's what makes us different than other networking groups where you kind of just show up and everybody just passes out a card, or anybody can just attend. There's a time and a place for that. What I like about this is that it makes us know that the people we have are quality people. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the person's a bad person. It's just, you need to find, like my mom always used to say, it's like every top has a pot type of thing.
Yep.
And so we want our pot to all work and like the right tops to be in part of it. So, it doesn't mean there might just be a better group for you.
Yeah, it's absolutely not personal.
Yeah.
It definitely is about a fit and a family. And there's a certain type of energy in our group that I feel it's very positive, right? Yeah. Very business oriented, very family oriented. You mentioned that before. And I think that's an important element that we bring, as well as business, because at the end of the day, we're there to do what?
Business. Yeah.
To get
and
business.
So that's part of it. But I agree. Like what you said, it's just, everybody has a place. So, and I think we're just really lucky. We're also virtual for most part. So if you don't have that right energy, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
agreed. You're right. To fit virtually, you have to know how to communicate that way. So, and then we also have our in-person meetings where we have a lot of fun.
Which is so great. Like we get the benefit of both worlds.
We do, don't we? It's so good. So we meet every Tuesday morning. Invite anybody to come down. If you're interested, give us a call here. You can email me at healthylifestylewithla, or you can reach out to Lauren or one of the people who were on the show today to see if you're interested in that. But Lauren, how do they get in touch with you? How do they try some of the samples, or do you do samples?
Oh, I do samples. I love to give a customized.
I knew that answer.
But just in case, there's always samples. I love to give people a customized regimen. So I ask you a couple questions because it's really personal. What works for your hair might not work for my hair, etc. And also our hair changes throughout the year as well as your skin. So it's important that we talk about that. So if you want to reach out to me, you can get free samples. My phone number is my best way, or you can reach me through Instagram. So my phone number is 516-426-1678. Or you can reach me on Instagram, and that's Lauren, LAUREN.Hart. So HART 228. So I look forward to talking to all of you.
Yeah, no, it's really great. And I love your icon. It's so you. It's just so you. I love it so much. But it's really a throwback to like the 50s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. It's so good. I love how you service your people. You really give them a lot of attention. I really appreciate the fact on how you are professional yourself, dealing with the professionals. And so you really try to find what fits. And if it doesn't fit, you go back in and you tack back in, as I call it in my business. You tack back in and find a really good solution. So why do you do what you do?
Because honestly, I love to help people. I think that when you wake up and you look forward to, or you don't hide, behind hats, you don't avoid the mirrors anymore, it gives you confidence. It gives you confidence to talk to people. It gives you confidence to believe in yourself. It's the first step. And then I usually get to build a relationship where it's also just not about your hair and your skin. And it's so much more than that. But I love being able to make people feel better about themselves.
Yeah. So. And you definitely do that. So, and you're such a big part and contributor of the networking group that we have. So we definitely appreciate you. I know all the members here are shaking their heads because they know that, you're just so giving, and you do our social media for the LeTip Suffolk virtual, and you take care of that for us. So
I love it.
You're the brains behind that operation, and we appreciate that as well. Any thoughts of what you would want to share with people? Anything you want to say at all?
That's like a very general question.
Yes.
What I'd like to share is, one, if you're a business and you haven't been invited to LeTip, I think Lorianne just gave you a huge invite, which is something to take advantage of. The only way to know about LeTip is to be invited. And just, I think that life is really short. So just enjoy every day. That's something I live by.
I like that. And that's clear that you live that way. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to this. It made my day. So thank you very much.
Oh, that's great. We'll have you back so you can really talk about all the products. Because I think what you do is great. You know me, I love natural products.
You do, I know.
We have to get rid of all the toxic chemicals out of our lives. That's what's affecting us in such a negative way.
Yeah.
Such a negative way. And I really think that a lot of that, we live on Long Island and we live on our aquifer, and all of those chemicals are going into our wadi, our drinking water. So no doubt that our cancer levels are higher
Oh
than
yeah, we have so many
anyplace else.
endocrine disruptors. It's insane.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and we'll get into that. I know you're really smart when it comes to that. So you have a lot to learn. So look for us when Lauren comes back. And Lauren, thank you again for being on.
Thank you so much, and
Appreciate
thank you for
it.
my.
Thank you for being part of the Chartering 16.
Thank you.
So it's awesome. So we are going to take a short little break. You are listening to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Lorianne Casdia. Again, we're talking about LeTip. It's a networking group. You need to be invited down. So you need to reach out to LeTip to be invited down to have a potential of getting an exclusive seat where you are guaranteed business. 50% of my business comes from this group, and I'm so grateful and appreciative of it and love every second of every week because I get to spend time with my friends every week. So if you're interested, please reach out, healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com, or you can go to LeTip.com and you can ask them for the great, wonderful Suffolk virtual chapter. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Lorianne Casdia. If you have any questions or comments, or you'd like to be a guest on Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne, please reach out to us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. And of course, follow us on social media at Healthy Lifestyle with LA. That's right. You're probably already on there if you're watching us on Facebook. Hi. So here we are. We're having a LeTip, like little round robin here, introducing different people who are a part of our membership at LeTip, which is a networking group for professionals with exclusive seats. And one of our exclusive seat holders is the beautiful Miss Sherry Hoff from Amazing Glazing Design. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lorianne. Good to be here.
It's so good to have you. Oh my gosh, we have to talk about your singing. So first we'll talk about what you do, and then we'll talk about how you do it.
Okay. Well, my name is Sherry, as you said. My company is Amazing Glazing Design, and I am a custom faux finisher. So I do everything from murals to whitewashing of brick, which I love to do because it keeps with the charm of the house. I do interior and exterior. So instead of painting it, to update it and covering it up, it just keeps with the beauty of it. And it can also be done in different colors because I'm going to be doing black soon, which will be really, really fun.
That's neat.
And yes, and I do wood graining. So I could take a piece of furniture, could be Formica, it could be just a piece of furniture that you love that doesn't really go with anything anymore. And I can update it and make it a unique piece to kind of pop out. Or I can make it match other pieces that you have if you like a match set. So I can do that as well.
Yes, and I know that you can do that because you took my icky cabinets.
Right.
I have this breezeway. We call it a butler pantry, and it was this icky cabinets. I hated them. I don't even like looking at them. But you matched it to my curio piece in my dining room.
In mahogany.
And mahogany. It looks like it's mahogany. It's amazing. Glazing.
Beat me
Got
to
you.
it.
Got you. I knew you were going to do that. Oh, me a Coke. So it's really beautiful. You do lovely work.
You.
Even to attention to detail is amazing. Where you, again, amazing glazing. Where you take the electric plug covers, the outlet covers, and you match the receptacles to the walls so they kind of blend in and
to the backsplash.
Yeah, just beautiful work. If they want to see more of your work, you're on Insta. I know I've seen your...
Yes, I'm on Instagram and Facebook, Amazing Glazing Design, and my website is... we're working on it right now, so it's not up and running yet, but it's amazingglazingdesign.com.
Great. So they can come and visit it. But I love how you work because you were in my house, you were doing work on my house, and I'm upstairs. My office is upstairs in my house, and I'm doing work, and I'm on a phone call, and all of a sudden I hear this music, and then I hear some singing, and you're down there singing away. If you've ever seen 50 Dates? 50 First Dates? Yeah. 50 First Dates, and she's in the barn and she's painting and singing at the top of her lungs. That was you.
I'm going to have to watch that.
That's you. 50 except you sing really well.
Oh, thank you.
So I know you're a singer, so you're also a friend
in my house or my car.
Sounds great in the shower. No, you sounded great. So she's singing along as she's painting. It was so lovely. I didn't want you to leave. I was like trying to find other things for you to do just so you'd stay there and sing.
And you did.
I did. I know. I was like, can you? And you're like, no, I have other people. I'm like, like, I don't care. Stay in my house. So not in an icky, like call the cops way, but in I want you to stay. So I love the fact that you love your work.
I do. I really do.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I'm sorry.
You can see it.
Thank you.
You can see it and feel it because when you're in there and the work is just beautiful. What made you get into it?
Actually, I used to love to color and draw when I was little, but I had forgotten that. And I went to school for marketing and didn't really do anything with that because I ended up waitressing and that, paid the bills. And it was great when I had kids. But then when my daughter was 3, I did a mural in her room. I did like a stencil of a fence around her room and did a garden theme. And some of it I used stencils, but then I also did freehand. So I found a tissue box that had a realistic bunny rabbit on it. So I copied that and I was honestly amazed at myself.
Amazing glazing.
Amazing glazing. And
it's like a drinking game.
Right.
We're going to have a new networking drinking game. Every time you say amazing, you have to say amazing and drink.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So bunny and
yes, and then my neighbors came over and they were like, what? Like, we didn't know you could paint and draw. And I'm like, I forgot. So they started hiring me to do things. And then HGTV came out. That was a big network. So
Sure.
I started watching all the shows and doing faux finishes in my own house, which I pretty much knew one, just like ragging, color washing.
Sure.
And then I met someone else that we both were doing the same thing. So she and I started working together and doing all kinds of techniques. And then I joined LeTip, I would say about 15, maybe 18 years ago, because I've been doing this about 20 years.
Really?
Yes. And it just helped me to stay focused.
Yes.
When it's your own business. Sometimes, you kind of get a little lazy. So that helped me stay focused. And then I just built my business from that and also doing some home shows. But I was in LeTip for about 10 years and then left just for personal reasons and then joined back up again. And I love it.
Yeah, well, we love having you. It's so good. I'm so glad that you're part of our group. So again, how do they reach the great, fantastic Sherry from Amazing Glazing Design?
Instagram and Facebook, Amazing Glazing Design, and soon to be my website, amazingglazingdesign.com. And my phone number is 516-456-6107. You can call or text, and I will get back to you as soon as possible.
Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And our next guest here is Joe Brezzo. He is from LPL Risk Management, also representing insurance, P&C insurance. That's personal and commercial insurance. Joe, aren't you proud that I actually know what P&C stands for?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Joe, you work for your clients. You always say this, at LPL Risk Management as an independent insurance broker. And you're right here in Ronkonkoma. You service all of Long Island, Brooklyn and New York City. And I love I love what you write here is that you make sure every client has the protection they genuinely need while making sure they don't waste money on any unnecessarily junk coverage that just acts as donations to insurance companies. And I really like that. It acts as donations to insurance companies. We don't need to make donations to them, right?
Absolutely not. They have plenty of money and then some.
Yeah. So. And when you're in the networking group, there's something that you do that I find is very amazing, especially as a marketing. Oh, Amazing Glazing. Oh, wait, she was before. You wear a super heavyweight or lightweight, middleweight, I'm not sure.
Middleweight nowadays, yes.
Middleweight champion belt on your shoulder. Why do you do that?
Because I'm a champion for my clients. I'm in their corner all the time, helping them fight the big insurance companies. It's way too hard for the average person to do that by themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And help us differentiate between what I call the box companies like the Geicos and Progressive. And that's good for some people. I get that. But what does your company do that differentiates you from the big boys?
So the thing is with the bigger companies is that they can only write their products.
So one product.
Right. Yeah. So all they can do is sell their brand.
Right.
Now the difference is with me is that I can sell a lot of different brands.
Like 32 companies, right?
At least.
Yeah.
Minimum,
So you actually shop. You're like a mall.
Pretty much.
Of insurance and you go into the different stores.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then you find the right store that matches up to your client.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a very good analogy actually with the mall because we do have some big stores like you see in the mall where they have Macy's, JCPenney, and all those bigger brands. But then you also have those little kiosks for specialty little items, which we also offer too. So we have your basic auto, we have your home, we have your umbrella. Those are the typical things that people would look for. And maybe commercial products as well. But then you have little specialty things like boats, motorcycles. We have even event insurance. So like, let's say if you're getting married, you can insure the wedding.
Right.
If you have a party, because that actually will tack onto your homeowner. So for a couple $100, you can buy an event policy.
Wow.
It'll keep a claim off of your home.
I did not know that.
Yes. Yeah, that's a big thing. You want to make sure if you're having like a really large gathering somewhere, like an 80-person party or something.
Yeah.
It usually only costs between $200 to $300 to insure the day. And I recommend it because it won't show up on your homeowner's policy, which if you do put a claim through your homeowner's policy, then what happens is that then they're going to surcharge you for a few years. It's going to be hard to shop it out now because you have an existing claim. So it's a separate policy. So
and this is why we don't like that.
Exactly. There's a lot of little tricks that I try to teach my clients to make sure that their rates don't go up. So there's a lot of little things that insurance companies will do to try to charge you more, and that's one of them. So yeah,
and that's why you represent your clients. So,
yes.
so you're really working for them.
Absolutely.
Whereas if you go to some of the big boxes directly, they have one product and they're not really servicing you.
They're not.
And
I mean, I worked for one for 10 years and listen, I get it being in their shoes. They have quotas, they have goals, they have a lot of corporate pressure. So they have to sell certain things. They have to sell you certain coverages. The companies will get very gung-ho to sell a certain coverage to people. Even if they don't need it, they'll just want you to sell it to everybody.
Right.
And they'll actually hold it against you if you don't. So the good thing with what I do is because I work for an independent, it's one owner. Well, that's actually two owners, but they decide. They make the rules. There's no corporate pressure over us.
Right.
We don't have to make any quotas. We don't have to make any goals. So I'm going to shop you out and I'm going to place you where you actually fit, not where some company says you have to be. And we're going to give you the coverages that you actually need. So I'll take the time to sit with you for a little bit longer than the 15 minutes that they say, but I spend the time to make sure that I understand what you really do need.
Right.
Even what your financial situation may be, because I can change what deductibles you should pick, change what extra coverages you should pick.
Yeah, that's true.
Every little thing can matter.
So is there a benefit for me placing all of my insurance in one place? My house, my boat, my motorcycle, my cars?
Absolutely. One of the other things is too with it is that when you start having to put things in 5 different places, because every company has their niche markets. So some companies are really good with motorcycles. Some are terrible. Some are great with homes, but hate auto, but you have a house and a car.
Right.
So let's say you need to be with 4 different companies. That's a lot of phone calls. That's a lot of organization that it takes. And people are busier now than they've ever been. They just are.
Please don't make me do it.
No, I will not. I promise. There's no really one bread.
And you compare and contrast. So
Yes.
you might contact 2 or 3 different companies for some, my home policy.
Oh, yeah.
And then you compare and contrast and bring the best products to
Absolutely.
me. So all I have to do is make a decision.
Yes.
And write a check.
Yep.
I can do that.
Yeah, and you can get it all done in one place. You're not calling 4 or 5 different people to, just to service the same stuff. Really.
And then if something happens, God forbid something happens, I just call you, right?
Definitely. Always call me first, because let's say you just call the carrier directly. One of the things that I'll teach everybody right now is that if you call them directly, even if it's a claim that's not covered, it's something that they will never pay you on, the fact that you call the claim rep, they automatically open up the claim. You now will get surcharged and you will now get rated as if you have a claim, despite the fact that you didn't receive $1.
Wow.
Yeah. So always ask me first if it's covered. And then the second thing we'll always do is if there's any kind of damage, if it is something that's possibly covered, always get an estimate first before you file, because you need to make sure it's above a certain amount of your deductible.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, it's just not worth filing.
Gotcha. So, and one last question, Joe.
Yeah.
I could talk to you about this all day, but, and you would think not, because it's not really one of those sexy kind of conversations, but it's really interesting. So I see, commercials all the time for these companies that will meet you at the accident and they'll write you a check right there. Is that a good thing?
I don't think that actually happens. that never happens. No, first, if you have an accident, the first thing is that they're going to get you towed out of that scene.
Right.
The insurance agent's never going to go there. And then you're going to go to you got to take into a repair shop, either one that, they tell you can go to, or one that you feel comfortable with.
Right.
I always recommend going to one that you feel
comfortable with.
Yeah. I always feel like you should go there, because that's where you're really going to get the work done correctly.
Right.
And then they will send somebody out to come look at it. Some companies do have a little thing where you can do it yourself, where you film it. I think with the pandemic, they kind of started that. That's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
But they'll usually send somebody out to come look at it a couple days later, or, maybe within a week. and then they'll assess the damage, and then that's when they'll fix the vehicle, and they'll write the check after
Gotcha.
that. It's a little bit longer process than they show you in the commercials.
Really? That's so weird.
Yeah, it's not quite like that. They
That's
just,
so odd. Do you mean
Yeah.
they're not accurate? So weird.
not really.
So two things is how can people get in touch with you at LPL Risk Management?
Sure. So the best way to get in touch with me is probably my cell phone, which is 631-401-8241, or my email, which is joe@lplrisk.com. And I am open 7 days a week. So even if it's a Saturday or a Sunday, anywhere between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., I will take the call and I will talk to you and we'll start shopping you out.
That's true. That is true because you responded to me on a Sunday and I was like, wait, what? And so I was kind of shocked.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, no, I answer all the time.
Why do you do what you do?
Why do I do what I do? The biggest thing is when I first was looking at like what I wanted to do with myself, I really wasn't sure. So I always had a little bit of a knack for finance, which insurance does fit that category. I had a little bit of a knack for sales. Insurance is big with sales. And the other thing is too, I really like to help people and really sit down with them and explain things, educate them, teach them, and really genuinely help them get what's right for them. So that's why I love doing this.
Yeah, and you're really good at what you do. So again, Joe Brezzo at LPL Risk Management. Thank you for being on, Joe.
Thank you so much for having me.
Talk to you soon. Our next guest is Pansy Cheng. She is an architect and a dear friend of mine. Actually, Pansy, welcome to the show.
Hi, Lorianne. How are you?
I'm doing great. We actually went to Hong Kong together.
We did.
It was so much fun. But I want to talk to you about what you do. First, you're a registered architect. You're a nationally certified interior designer.
Yes.
With 30 years, not looking at you, I mean, looking at you, I would never get 30 years, but 30 years of professional experience in community and commercial projects. You love doing your libraries, your hospitals, your schools, your recreational and office buildings, but you really, really focus on libraries a lot.
I love libraries.
Yes. We'll talk about that in a minute. You're also a LEED AP, which stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental, design accredited professional, and your credentials for professionals with advanced knowledge of sustainable design practice. And you are the owner of your own firm of May Wu Design in Stony Brook, New York. Congratulations on your own business.
Thank you very much.
But so, yeah, we were on vacation in Hong Kong and we literally, I have never done this before. We literally visited two libraries while we were on vacation. I'm walking in there thinking, why am I in a library? But then when I saw the library through Pansy's eyes, I understood why. The architecture was beautiful. Matter of fact, when I was just recently on vacation, I was looking at some things and I was like, Pansy would love these buildings because they were just so architecturally beautiful and so detailed. And I know you're a very detail-oriented architect.
I am.
So how did you get into architecture? What is it that you love about it? Because you are so passionate about it, so serious about it, yet so fun to be with.
Thank you. I went into I knew I wanted to do interior design and architecture since I was 11 when my late mother asked me, so what do you want to do in the future? I have no idea. So she said, what are you good at? Math. She goes, so what's the subject you enjoy the most? I said, art. She's like, why not combine the two and become architect or interior design? So I pursued all of the courses in high school and in junior high that would be needed to get that credentials. And then eventually I moved to the US to pursue Rhode Island School of Design as my college. And I got a double degree, Bachelor's of Architecture and a Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Interior Design.
Yeah. And I love that you combine them both because as an architect, you also do fit outs, which is taking a space and changing it to work for the individual who's using that space.
Correct.
And in fit outs, to me, I always think you need to be an interior designer because you have to understand what the flow is, what the eye is, how you're working. How did you get into that specifically, or was it just a natural progression?
It's a natural progression only because it's kind of like being a therapist. You got to understand your client's needs and wants and, how the workflows, what's the adjacencies are and what the needs are. Are they open 24 hours or do they need an emergency generator? Are they only open during certain hours? And therefore, you design a security system that fits the needs, or the lighting during the time of day if it's a restaurant, you probably wanted dimmable lighting and different accent lightings to, transform the experience.
Yeah. You're very detail oriented, and I know you also do homes.
I do.
You do individual projects.
Yes.
You work with other architectural firms to do some of stamping if necessary and things like that. How can someone reach you?
They can reach me at my cell phone 631-877-0555 or my email at pcheng.arch@gmail.com.
Okay. That's easy to reach you. So why do you do what you do?
Lorianne, you and I have a very similar goals, right? Very similar goals. You're passionate about empowering people to do their best and to seek out the life that they wanted to live.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I am very passionate about helping people, but using a different medium by creating environments that they're the most comfortable in, that would transform their lives, that would encourage them to do what they do, and that would help them relax.
And become the human that they really are, to look inside and see how great they are. Because everybody has their success codes within themselves. And we get to bring that out. You do it with the space that you provide for them. And give them that sense of calm, which is important to be able to focus on your interior, which is who you are and what you want to be. So thank you for saying that, because you associating me with you is just an honor, because I think what you do is amazing. You're passionate, you're smart, you ask a gazillion questions, which I'm very fond of because I might do that myself. And I love how you really communicate with your clients, because you adore your clients. You really treat them like they're special pearls. And you want every single pearl, imperfect or not, to be absolutely perfect for them.
Well, I need to be thoughtful about the process, because a lot of times when clients said that they want certain things, they may not want those certain things. You got to be a step ahead of them and find out what they really, really, really want deep in their hearts. And you do the same thing, Lorianne, by bringing that out of people.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes they don't know what they're really looking for, and we just get them there. That's all. We kind of define. We take away some of the choices because we know that that's not really what they want.
Right.
So we make it easier. Yeah. I
and
appreciate
kind of guide them through the journey of getting exactly what they want and so on.
Thank you so much for being on, Pansy. I'd love you to come back and talk more about what you do. Would you come back to the show?
Love to.
Love that. Would love
Thank
that so much. Thank you all for joining us on Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Lorianne Casdia, and you know my heart is always lifted. You have a choice to listen to anything, and that you're here listening to us right now really lifts all of our hearts up. And thank you all to all of our guests today. Our networking group, the LeTip Suffolk Virtual. If you want to be on it, healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. I'll give you more information. Invite you in, see if you like it, and see if membership likes you. That's real important. In the meantime, as I always say, play a higher role, serve a higher purpose, show up for you, and show up big. Have a great day.